13 wins. All 13 wins come by way of knockout. Presenting a WBO Asia Pacific title challenger. He comes to us from Tumingang, Zamboanga, Philippines. It's the Trigger Man. Welcome, Minduro. In a 38 contest, including 29 wins, 14 of those wins come by way of knockout. An IBF Australasian, a WBC Asian, an IBF Pan-Pacific, and an Australian champion. He comes to us from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Yoel Camelleri.
Slight advantage in height for weljon Minduro. So the opening round underway, a 3-minute round for the Asian Continental title at 75 kilogram middleweight. Two accomplished operators, and a man wearing the black trunks with gold is the undefeated professional weljon Minduro. 14 fights, 1 draw, 13 wins, all of them coming inside the distance. No strangers fighting outside of the Philippines. His last 2 contests have been in the United States, where he has produced a KO of the year candidate in July against Tyler John, getting him out of in the second round of a contest scheduled for 8. It's for Joel Camelleri, competing in his 3rd contest of 2024. Spoke to Camelleri yesterday. Said that he admires Andre S.O.G. Ward, 2004 Olympic champion, still the last American male to claim Olympic gold. Loretta Shields, of course, took 2 Olympic titles in London and Rio. He said the ring IQ of Andre Ward is what he admires. He said that facing a puncher of this caliber and this repute really didn't hold any fears for him. He scored with a flicking jab, then he doubled it up, not too accurate with the second pair of lead lefts, but he said that he intends to use that shot to frustrate the puncher. He said he's been in with punches. He lands a looping roundhouse right. He said that the pressure that he will bring with his elusiveness, his ring craft and variety will just render Minduro frustrated figure, and then he'll start looking for the KO. And in the meantime, Camelleri told me that he will be piling up the points. There's this an opportunity to showcase his skills, because at his best he feels he's a match for anyone. So no shortage of confidence for the man from Melbourne. Moved to Sydney to manage the Costa Zoo boxing school. His contest with Tim Zoo, moves into that role earlier this year. Right cross, left up, left hook to the body. Left hook on the inside, landed by Camelleri. Again, Camelleri just content to box behind a low-held guard, protecting his abdomen with that lead right hand. The left hand wandering around his quad and kneecap. Walks his man back across the ring. Remember, both men getting an identical 74.65 kilograms. Use of the feet as darting laterally, both left and right, is Camelleri. weljon Minduro seeking to pin him against the ropes, bring him square in there. He did get through the power driving right cross and unload a couple of punches to the body. Left hook after turning the table, landed by Camelleri.
Better Diaz now the ringside, another undisputed champion. Everywhere you look.
Speaking of power, prior to going the distance with Dimitri Bivol in that battle for the undisputed title at 175 pounds light heavyweight, 100% KO ratio for a man at the top of his profession as a reigning world champion. He knows a thing or two about power, but not loading up everything within his shape. Good right hand to the body, followed by left hook upstairs from Camelleri, but then Minduro backing his man across the ropes with a forward foray, but keeping his composure under fire and answering with a single was Camelleri. Minduro just seeking to end that little coming together with a right uppercut, but pulling the trigger first against the trigger man is Camelleri. Now backing him up to his own corner with nudging right uppercuts, and he's physical on the inside. So action just on the edge of range as Camelleri continuing to be, oh, what What a beautiful left jab, my goodness, came out on an upward trajectory from out of the line of sight of Minduro, from around the kneecap, just cracked right into his face to disrupt his forward movement. Beautiful shot with that lead left from Camelleri as the two men test the tension of the strands just above our commentary position. Approaching the halfway stage with the overhand right from Camelleri with a speculative shot, continuing to move effectively, laterally both clockwise and counterclockwise. Minduro quick-footed with his advances, trying to close the gap, but invariably the man breaking the standoff by letting his hand go first is Camelleri, and it's a disruptive staccato rhythm that he's boxing at, and Minduro hasn't yet got to grips with that rhythm to demonstrate his own time. Even though he's in with a noted knockout artist, Camelleri goes by the nickname of Kama KO, 14 wins of his 29, coming via the short move, remember, and there's that disruptive left hand once again, and Minduro reduced to swinging and missing with his vaunted backhand. By the lead left hook, but blocked effectively by the gloves and forearm of Camelleri. Minduro continuing to shape up nicely. Camelleri, again, dynamic figure up in the boxing ring as he circumnavigates, back skimming against the ropes. Turns the tables once more. Minduro intent to accept the clinch before the intervention of the referee separate the two. Closing seconds of the second round, and again, just even though Minduro made his man miss and came out of a crouch with a speculative overhand right, the dynamic, darting and elusive movement of Camelleri just give you the impression that he's controlling the tempo.
You've got to stay patient if you're Minduro, but you've got to start making a little bit more contact on Camelleri. As I said in an earlier fight, shoulders, forearms, whatever, just make sure you start landing.
Well, Minduro out aggressively and letting a fusillade of punches go, and a couple of the body shots did get through, followed by a flashing right uppercut. Pinned in his own corner is Camelleri, keen to try and fashion a clinch, but then just, beautiful two-shot salvo to the body from Minduro. Perhaps his best punches of the entire contest as he sunk his feet into the canvas and got real leverage onto his shots. But now it's Camelleri walking down the knockout artist, and he's seeing away to the body before cupping away with a right hook to the head. And again, it's a question we often pose when you've got a man who is used to touching opponents and seeing them fall. Will the curse of the puncher befall weljon Minduro tonight? Still early days, of course, in his battle for the Asian Continental title at 75 kilograms. But oftentimes, when a puncher is landing cleanly and the opponent is still there, well, sometimes the puncher's instinct can be to just dig away harder. And even though they say they're prepared to go the distance, and no doubt physically they are, and sometimes play tricks in the mind of the expert finisher. That is what the Trigger Man has proven to be during his professional career to this point, having made his debut in 2019. Camelleri with a cuffing right hand and then tying his man up to waltz him back to the space and center ring is boxing a clever physical contest. Left-right combination not too far away from Minduro, but Camelleri tucking up behind his shoulder to ward off the incoming fire. And again, it's a disruptive lead left that he's continuing to work behind Camelleri. Proffering the half-cover guard. There he spiked by an overhand right. The left hook which followed may have glanced the nose of Minduro after the right hand was inaccurate. Clocking up the miles on his fistic odometer as he glides around the perimeter of the ring. Camelleri, Minduro. Again, when Andy and I were observing him work out at the Rocky Road Gym, as a flashing left-right combination catches the advancing Minduro from Camelleri. He's possessed of that timing that just produces a distinctive sound. Overhand left with a barroom brawl of a blow from Minduro. Couldn't quite find a range as he walked his man down, but Camelleri landing with the inside of the glove, and then an altogether cleaner right hand, and another one from Camelleri, followed by left hook, boxing beautifully off the ropes as Minduro tries to respond with a right uppercut of his own. But he's walked back across the ring by Camelleri, who is just neutralizing the bombs that are housed in the boxing gloves of the left and right fists of Minduro. Terrific work by Camelleri to smother the man from the Philippines. Looking for a right hand off the back. So Camelleri no stranger to going the 10-round distance, so 8 rounds for this Asian title won't hold any fears for him. And again, it's a very dynamic manner of boxing. As for Minduro, who bulldozed his man back to the ropes and lands with a right cross. Clever boxing out of the corner from Camelleri, who's remained responsible. But now, he's beginning to be teed off upon by Minduro. Is this a stoppage? No, it's a standing count. So, referee Valery Kastuhov stepping in with a standing count after hooks and uppercuts began to crash home against Camelleri. Oh, that's a beautiful right hand on the resumption, but now Minduro has got his man going and he's seeking to demonstrate that he is a precise and merciless finisher once again. It's an awful long time to negotiate. Beautiful left hook, but then a right hand in response from Camelleri. But Minduro really is finding the range on his punches now and wearing all of them flush. Is Camelleri. He's endured a torrid minute and 10 seconds so far. He's taken a standing count. Back into the breach. Steps Minduro. Senses that he's got his man going. He's wrestled him down to the canvas. That gives him some brief respite. The referee wipes the gloves clean. And he walks onto a shot, which was an uppercut, which sends Camelleri to the canvas to take the second count of the round. There's still a minute and a half to go in round number 4. And against a finisher like Minduro, that could well be a long 90 seconds. Camelleri on the ropes above our commentary position, bobbing and weaving, trying to hold off, but he's taken a right uppercut, and the towel has come in from Dino Billinghurst in the corner. The corner of the Australian, Joe Camelleri, stopping this contest early, an exuberant celebration in acknowledgement of another inside the distance victory for weljon Minduro. He got his man going at the start of that round, and once he sensed he was going, well, he was relentless, but he was not reckless. He showed patience, got him in 4 rounds. He boxed very well indeed. But as is often the case when sharing a ring with a puncher, you've got to remain switched on for every moment that they remain upright.
You absolutely do, and we were wondering, weren't we, in between rounds, whether at the end of the 3rd round there was a danger sign there because he was starting to fight Minduro's fight more. Was that because he was confident? Was that because his pick was falling down? And then right at the start of the 4th, he got involved straight away in the kind of fight that really he didn't want to be in. The referee seemed to give a standing count the first time around, which he shouldn't have done, because there are no standing counts in professional boxing. You could have judged that the ropes have kept the fighter up, but that wasn't really the case, I don't think. So that actually bought him a bit of time, but there was just no getting off the hook, was there? Because Minduro was all over him like a rat. I think it was an uppercut that he walked onto in the end, and there was a long time left in the round. The towel came in from the corner. I don't think the referee even really saw it, but he waved it over, and it was over quite quick in the end. It was dramatic. He was doing so well up until that point, and you can see how straight he is with himself there, which I think he will feel that he started to mix it when he really didn't need to. That's maybe not giving Minduro enough credit. But at the end of that 3rd, he was just standing with him a bit, and I was thinking to myself, he doesn't need to be doing this. That's a dangerous thing to do. And it proved to be the case. But for the trigger man, this is exactly what you wanted, isn't it? You know, he came in with that reputation of being a boxer.
Please show your appreciation for both boxers. And before we hand over the IBA Pro Asian Championship title, we have 2 special guest presenters, 2 icons of the sport, the real deals. Let me please introduce Mr. Kostya Tszyu and Mr. Manny Pacman Pacquiao.
Well, what a presentation party on hand to give the prize to weljon Minduro.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to your judges' scorecards. Pardon me. The contest ends in round number 4. The official time, 1 minute and 40 seconds of round number 4. Therefore, your winner by TKO from the Philippines, the Trigger Man, weljon Minduro.
So, weljon Minduro retains his undefeated record and extends his perfect KO streak. That is now
once again in the ring, 2 icons of boxing, Mr. Kostya Tszyu and Mr. Manny Pacquiao.
14 wins coming inside the distance, courtesy of a 4th round technical knockout produced at the 1 minute 40 mark of round number 4, and that's not a bad photograph, is it? To your